5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sports on Tap is brought to you by Go-To Pro Plumbing, Land & Sea Motorsports, On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I don't know what we're yelling about!
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice.
Loud noises!
Not a game.
This is the first time in my life I'm glad I'm deaf.
We're talking about practice, man.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
65.
63. Knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we're loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
I'm so glad we added that to the end to our intro song. It's fantastic. Like, it's a great way to bring the show in. I think it's glorious.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
All right, welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Joe Waddell and Frank Gigotta. Gentlemen, how are we?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How about you?
You know, just living the life on the eve of lockdown number 2. You know,
Sort of lockdown,
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You know, it's what it is. But yeah, that's. If you guys are out tonight, you know, be sure to tip your waiters and waitresses well. They're definitely going to need it here in the next, 3 weeks, however long it's going to be.
Yeah, so, that's who I feel bad for right now. Is it sucks for them. I have a lot of friends that are in that business still.
You used to be in that business.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, obviously, I'm glad I'm not, but I feel so bad for everybody that is in that business because me personally, you can say what you want on one side or whatever. I don't think there's sides to this. I just believe that. Certain businesses are being shut down unfairly. I don't think the restaurants is really where it's a problem, and I think they're being unfairly shut down. I feel bad for everybody in that business right now.
I mean, obviously we're not a political show, so please don't take this as that.
No,
but like just for an opinion, I believe it should be on the owner's consent. If they feel like they need to shut down, shut down. If they don't feel the need to shut down, they shouldn't have to.
Enough. I'm gonna kind of go to the side on this and double down on what you had said with tipping everybody. When you do carryouts, tip the fucking people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, when you get 100%. Delivery, tip these fucking people.
Yep.
These people survive on that money.
And if you don't tip, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
As simple as that. You're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there.
So, anyways, want to get that out of the way.
It was too important to not mention it.
No, and I agree with you. So it definitely needed to be shared. Like I said, if you don't know to tip your waiters or waitresses, then you're just a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
I did deliveries for a long time, dude. The amount of people who would just assume that delivery charges an actual tip, like it's shocking how many people figure that out.
It's not.
No, it really is
not.
Speaking of shitty things, I'm going to get into the Detroit Lions because, obviously I have Red Zone. We've talked about it numerous times, on the show. And so I have to somewhat watch the game because it's on Red Zone. They show stuff that goes on in the game. And watching that game, I was like, I don't know, can you think of a Lions game that felt more like a loss than this one this past week?
No.
Even though they won?
No. And I'll tell you, this is the first Lions win of the year that I didn't receive a text message from a certain individual that said forward down the field. Now, after every Lions win,
Off air, you need to tell me who this person
yeah,
is.
after every Lions win, I get a message that says "forward down the field."
By the way, one of the dumbest fucking fight songs, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
They're a pro team.
In,
Why do they
in
have a
sport,
fight song
in sports,
general?
period.
Yeah, it's a pro team. It shouldn't have a fight song.
Right,
It's
it's
stupid.
incredibly stupid.
But I used to always make. Obviously, I've made fun of the Lions for a long time.
Yep.
And I make fun of them by singing the "Forward Down the Field" song every time they screw something up. I go forward down
right.
the field. So every time they win, I get
You
that
were
message.
singing it all day on Sunday then.
Yeah, well, I watch the Red Zone like Chris does. So they were only on a little bit here and there. I don't put them on purpose. I refuse to turn on that game, but I get the updates through Red Zone.
Red Zone, absolutely.
But this is the first Sunday, this is the first week where they've won where I haven't gotten that text message. And I think even this person can look at this Lions win and say, it's not a win. It's just not. I mean, it is, but it's not.
The standings say it's a win.
The standings say it's a win.
It looks like a line drive on the score sheet.
It's a W.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It was the game that, and this happens with every Lions coach there is. I get to a point where I go, okay, it's time to just write this off, come back when the next coach gets hired.
So basically every coach they've ever had.
Yeah, pretty much. Because, and both of you have asked me numerous times, like, what is it going to take for you to give up on this team? I'm never going to actually give up on the team. But I do hit a point where I go, okay, what they're doing right now, enough is enough. And it's never happened after a win.
Wow.
Until this
week. I feel like they did they this past weekend. I feel like they did enough to satisfy the slapdicks. Like, oh, they won, yay, go Lions, forward down the field, like we just talked about.
Blew a 21-point lead.
They don't look at it like that though. Lion Hawks, they don't look at it like that
against a dog shit team. Like, no offense to Alex Smith, we've gone on and on about how great it is that he's coming back, but you literally were dominated for a half of football by a guy with one leg.
Right. But like I said, the Honks, they don't look at it like that. They just like, oh, they won, it's great. No, dude, you should have fucking lost that game. You
it's
absolutely.
Embarrassing,
and if Chase Young didn't go dumb, you probably would have lost that game.
Yeah, and see, and that's it basically right there. Is when it comes down to it, they probably lose that game if Chase Young doesn't just lapse in judgment completely and hit Matthew Stafford 30 seconds after he threw the fucking football. Like literally, it was like 30 seconds later. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was bad. And even with that penalty, though, you can't give up that yardage that you gave up to separate her up for that field goal.
No,
you can't.
No,
you can't. That's terrible.
The other thing, though, with that game, like, I have never seen a quarterback look so lifeless in the NFL. Matt Stafford's done. He has given up
with this franchise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can tell there is no drive. There is not a care in the world that he has.
And I don't think it's all being a Detroit Lions quarterback. I think there's other factors that go into play with this.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I mean, at some point, it has to just finally just wear on you to the point where you're just like, fuck this. I got to get out of here. Like I can't do this here anymore.
Don't see him being the quarterback next year.
No, I don't either. And we've talked about this at shows previous.
It's not out of a should move on from him. It's the fact I think he'll demand a trade.
Well, and the sad part is you saw two quarterbacks they could have and that could be replacing him this last Sunday playing each other.
Hey, that's an excellent segue into that. Well done, sir.
Not really a segue. That was the game I was excited to watch.
I see you've been listening or watching my videos that have been sent.
Yeah, on the segues. Yeah, that to me they could have had either one of those guys.
Yeah,
they could have had Herbert. They could have had Tua.
Yep.
I was preaching Tua all off season.
Yep.
And I know you're more a Herbert guy. We've talked about this several times. Either guy would have been fine. I wouldn't have had a problem with them drafting either one of them.
Right.
It would have been a smart move. But they drafted Okudah, who did he even play on Sunday?
I heard his name a few times.
Did you? Because I didn't even hear his name. I
will tell you I didn't notice his name mentioned.
But the fact of the matter is, I think I see what you're getting at. Is they drafted him, but he's not gonna. Even if he had a great game, he's not gonna make the type of impact that either Tua or Herbert would make in a career. Like
his position,
right,
doesn't have that kind of impact.
It doesn't.
Unless you're Jalen Ramsey, and even then, it's a stretch to draft him at top 3.
Right.
By the way, that dude fucking shut down DK this week.
Yeah, absolutely did.
He shuts down a lot of guys.
But that defense also shut down Russell Wilson. So, I mean, I think credit, especially to that D-line.
Yeah, dude, it was...
That definitely makes Jalen Ramsey's job easier.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing. You're looking at Russell Wilson. 3 out of the last 4 weeks, he's had dog shit weeks.
Yeah, he's been bad.
He's had 10 turnovers in the last 4 games.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you look at
a couple of them fumbles, 3 of them fumbles.
And the defense can't make up for those. You know, if you're going to turn the ball over, your hope's got to be that your defense is able to get one back for you.
Like the business decision that Jamal Adams made. Did you see that?
No, I
it's
didn't.
like a run on the goal line. And he could have rushed in and tried to tackle the guy. Nah, he like Olayed him. It was bad. It was really bad. It was just like, talk about I get it, business decision. I understand. Yeah, I see what you're doing here. But if you see that in like practice the following day or the day after that in your tape sessions, and you see that as a teammate, aren't you fucking pissed at that? Or because how the NFL is, do you understand it?
I think they understand that.
Right.
If it's a closer game and a guy doesn't want to give up his body, then I think they have a problem with that. I think in that situation that you're talking about, I think everybody understands that. They know they're not going to hold it against him. And I think with the Seattle game we're talking about, it goes back to again something I've preached from day one is that team's only going to go as far as Russell Wilson can carry them.
Yeah,
because they have some glaring problems. And the defense is the biggest glaring problem there is.
They have no run game, and they have no defense.
Even with Chris Carson, when he's healthy, they have no run game.
No.
And that offensive line doesn't seem like they can run block to fucking save their lives. And Russell Wilson is running for his life half the time, so they can't pass block worth of shit either.
Right.
So it's basically all on him. And when he has a bad game or when he breaks down, they're just it shows. They're not a team that's going to compete.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of surprised how bad that game went for us. I thought he was going to kind of bounce back after a couple of subpar weeks, but I think speaking to Joe's point, I think you're finally starting to see that toll being weighed on him now. That all right, dude, I need help, guys. Like I've done all I can for the majority of the season. I need help, and if they don't get any soon, I don't know, man.
Well, he's lucky, or they're lucky. He has receivers to throw the ball to that he has.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for that, it'd be really bad.
It'd be ugly.
Because he hasn't had many very good receivers. So at least he has DK and at least he has Lockett.
Right.
Right. In years past, if it was years past and he had some of the receivers he had, it'd be even worse, man.
Yeah.
It'd be even worse.
Now talking about Russell Wilson and somebody that is kind of maybe. I don't want to say fully fallen out of the MVP race, but he's definitely gone down a few notches.
He's taken a few steps back.
Yeah. And talk about somebody who's ascending in that race is your boy Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And I was a Kyler guy too. I like Kyler.
I'm a huge Kyler Murray fan. You know that.
I mean, that dude had a game. That was actually a really fun football game to watch because especially it was the Bills. So I turned off Red Zone and I watched the entire thing. And
that was the whole game.
Yeah. It was on CBS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I watched all of that.
I thought that was just Hopkins making one catch, and that was the entire game.
No, it was actually a solid game. Don't get me wrong, it was heartbreaking, and I could kind of see it coming, but
I didn't see that coming. When Josh Allen threw that touchdown pass to Diggs with it was a great pass.
And we were texting back and forth during the game. I'm like, man, he just looks like shit. And then he throws that, and then he does that. Yeah. It's like, okay, cool.
Well, like I told you, for some reason against the Arizona defense, which isn't really that great, his receivers weren't getting any separation.
No, they weren't.
They were getting no separation, and it doesn't help that he underthrew the ball several times. But if your guys aren't getting separation,
right.
that makes those mistakes even more glaring. But that pass at what 34 seconds left, he threw that pass to Diggs in the end zone.
It was a dime.
Oh, he couldn't have handed it to him any better.
It was a dime. Great catch by Diggs too,
for sure. I thought the game was over at that point.
I did.
I never would have seen that coming.
Being as a Lions fan for as long as I was, that's why I still take. It ain't over till it's over, man. You know, we've seen it too many times. But you look at the game Josh Allen had, and he threw 2 picks. He should have thrown 4. Like he just looked bad pretty much that entire game.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely throwing behind his receivers.
Yeah, he just looked uncomfortable like all day in the pocket. It was weird. And then obviously at the end of the game, I'm sure you've all seen it, the Hail Mary catch from DeAndre Hopkins, who hey, credit to the guy, man.
Listen, it was a great catch.
It was a great catch.
I don't know how he caught it between three defenders.
Shame on the Buffalo defense. Like we talked about before the show, just knock the ball down. Stop going for your fucking stats and just knock the ball down.
Yeah, they were all. It looked like all three of them were going for an interception.
Yeah,
and I just don't understand why you're jumping up and you're trying to catch the ball on defense.
Knock it
down.
Especially there's three of you there. Like,
knock it down.
And I look at it with the three defenders back there, and I go, did you guys not play baseball growing up? Like, do you not communicate with each other? I got it. Okay,
yeah.
You go for that. You worry about knocking it down. You just go out there, and everybody goes for the ball, and that's the end of it?
It's just kind of like, oh, my God.
Like, just knock it down, man. Like, it's not rocket science.
But
knock the ball down.
I mean, credit to Hopkins and Kyler Murray for making the play. They did it. They pulled it off. Good job. Well done. Move on to next week.
And I can't say enough about Kyler, man.
He did it when he needed to.
He's maturing a little bit more every game.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Every game.
And that's good. That's
what you got to hope for.
Like we talked about last week, the especially at quarterback, the health of this league is in very good hands with all the young quarterbacks that are coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch here with the next 5-10 years, whatever.
I said it quite often before the draft when we talked about it. Like, I'm not a Tua fan whatsoever, but the things I've watched that kid do in the last couple of weeks, it's hard not to root for him.
Yeah, he's been really good. And then moving on to like an older quarterback that's had his time in the sun, Drew Brees. Is he dead? I'm just making sure that
he
dude's
might
still
be
alive.
dead.
And
that's
and that hit. Such a bullshit call.
Oh, okay. So you knew which call I was talking about.
I knew exactly what call you were talking about.
During Sunday's games,
when Drew Brees almost died.
Yeah, that hit.
He did die.
he might have. I think he saw his own. I think he rose above himself and was looking down on himself.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a hit, but it wasn't a penalty.
It was clean.
It should not have been a penalty. He hit him clean.
Yep.
He didn't hit him in the. He didn't hit him in the head.
Didn't launch.
It wasn't helmet to helmet. He didn't launch, and he landed on his side. Yep. He didn't land completely on Drew Brees, which is what they want you to avoid doing. They want you to avoid landing with all your body weight on the quarterback, which again, to me, is a stupid rule. It's football. But okay, you can't land with all your weight on the quarterback. And he didn't. He did everything right in that scenario, and they still threw a flag and called a penalty. And these roughing the passer calls, along with some of the pass interference calls, are getting absurd. They're insane. You can't play defense anymore.
But with the injuries that Brees sustained, broken ribs, punctured lung, collapsed lung. Sorry,
3 broken ribs and collapsed lung.
He's out for the rest of the season.
He's done.
I've heard he'll be back in 3 weeks.
He's trying to say he's going to come back, but
it's
40-some years old.
I mean, at that point, I know he's a competitor. I get it.
He's not going out like that.
No. That was the thing.
Even if he was going to retire this year,
he ain't going to retire now,
and he doesn't make it back this year,
he's coming back.
He's coming back
because
he's not going to go out like that.
No,
he wants to go out on his own terms.
And actually, we just my little brother just popped up in the comment section on our Facebook feed. He said hitting too hard is penalized in hockey and in football now, and it's terrible because when you put pads on, you're not a defenseless person.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And that right there,
I couldn't agree more. I absolutely couldn't agree more.
You have pads on. You're on the field expecting to get hit.
Well, and so if you're talking about defenseless receiver, with that penalty, a lot of times I agree with, because a guy cutting across the middle, going to catch the football, and a guy just lays him out, those are dangerous. Some of those I agree with. But if you're talking about hitting the quarterback, especially when they're starting to run out of the pocket, and these roughing the passer calls are ridiculous. I agree with that. You put on the pads, you're playing a rough sport. That's the way it works. Unless it's helmet to helmet or a concussion type hit where you're trying to avoid the concussions, obviously because you're avoiding CTE and all that stuff. It should just be like you're hitting. It's a contact sport. You're fucking hitting people. It's what you put on pads and you go out there and you hit people. To me, it's just insane, some of these calls.
It definitely takes away from the enjoyment of the game. I get it. The NFL is trying to avoid lawsuits and the CTE and all that stuff. But at some point, you got to let them play the game. This is what they signed up for. This is what they get paid millions of dollars
There's
to do.
There's a certain amount of risk you assume by
Yes.
becoming an NFL or
Yes.
a professional athlete. in
You
general.
know the risks. Like, yeah, you're going to get hit, especially if you play football or hockey. You're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit hard sometimes. It's the nature of the game.
I agree.
And, like, especially the hockey point of view, like, and I know this is COVID related as well, but the OHL, like you know exactly where I'm going with this.
Such a fucking joke.
The OHL, the Ontario Hockey League, the junior league, it's basically like, I guess, like college hockey in Canada.
Yep.
Pretty much. And it's more to do with COVID than anything, but they've mandated now that this season there will be no body checking in the league. And I just think about this and I go, how fucking stupid is that? Like,
are you kidding?
I'm 100% serious about
I don't
this.
even know who said the word, so it may have even been one of you guys. But I heard it, and I've adopted it. It's the pussification of sports.
Yeah?
Like, that's where this is all going. And I discussed with, I was over at a friend's house yesterday, and I discussed with a couple parents of kids that I grew up playing hockey with. You know, the fact that, yeah, we do have some regrets. The way I wake up some days, my body feels like I know I beat the shit out of it playing youth sports.
100%.
Right. And if I knew then what I know now, maybe I wouldn't have done some of the things that I did. But at the same time, if you want to play these sports, this is the sport.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd be a great soccer player if I didn't have to run. Like, well, yeah, you could be a great hockey player if you don't have to hit. Well, that's not the game.
It's not the game.
The game is hitting.
Right,
That's,
exactly.
That's part of the game.
So basically, you're setting these kids up for they're going to go through a year of no physical contact. So they're going to develop bad habits. They're going to start skating through the middle of the ice with their head down because they can get away with it.
And you're going to send a kid to the pros next year who's going to get fucking killed.
Exactly. He's going to do that shit in whether it be the A or the NHL, and he's going to get laid out by some dude because he's got his head down.
That is such a bad idea.
And he's not going to get laid out by an 18-year-old. He's going to get laid out by a 30-some-year-old real man.
Yep.
Right.
I think you're doing these
and he's
kids...
going to get hurt bad.
Exactly. I think you're doing these kids a huge disservice by making this the rule of the league this year.
Like, not that we have a version of him right now in the NHL, but could you imagine a kid going a year without hitting and then having to cross the blue line with Scott Stevens or Vladdy or somebody like that on the other side?
Yeah, that would not be ideal. not for that kid.
Right.
It's a shame, and you're going to see it. You're absolutely going to see it. You're going to be watching like Hockey Night in Canada or something like that. And like, yeah, this, he's like a rookie, coming out of junior, and the kid gets laid out. He's like, oh, that's a shame. Well, if he didn't skate with his freaking head down.
And that's a situation where, I mean, this is almost completely off topic, but at the same time, it's about sports. This is where I miss Don Cherry.
Yeah, that is one aspect of Don Cherry that I do miss. Other than that guy can fuck off.
I know he's not loved by most people.
I was going to say I don't miss him at all.
Just that aspect I do, because that one he actually has a logical point. But other than that, that dude can fuck off. That dude's been done for fucking years.
I love grapes. Leave him alone.
But exactly,
crazy old bastard.
Exactly. Now, more stuff that's shitty. Of course, this weekend Michigan embarrassed itself.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Who? Never heard of them. Next.
Who?
No, they embarrassed themselves once again. And, nobody seems to care. It's just Jim Harbaugh just doing his thing. He's trying to build back his program. What do you mean build back his program? What the fuck are you talking about? Exactly. Yes, 100%. And not to mention, they got blown out, but the worst part about it is they quit. If you watch any of that game, the first they quit. They quit on him. Like, if that doesn't tell you that dude needs to go, I don't know what will. That dude needs to go, get the fuck out of here. And even more sad than that, that's not even their worst loss this year.
Nope, it's not.
That's not even their most embarrassing loss.
Still got this manhandled by State.
And then you're going to go play Butgers this weekend. I hope Butgers kicks the shit out of you.
I don't doubt that they will make that a game. I'm not going to say...
No, I think they will make it a game.
I'm not going to say Rutgers is going to win it, but they will make that a game.
I'm going to talk about Rutgers because I refuse to talk about the team you're talking about.
Fair enough.
I think Rutgers actually is on the rise. I think they're a better team than what people expected them to be at the beginning of the season, including us three.
Yeah.
And I think they will give the team you're talking about a run for their money, and I kind of hope they do. I hope they win. because to me they're actually a better team than what people thought, than what I thought.
That'd be what, 4 losses in a row?
Yeah.
I stopped keeping track.
Yeah, it would be. It would be State, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Rutgers.
At that point, I mean, I know what the hope is,
but they're not going to do it in season. They're not going to.
You don't think so?
No, they're not. Michigan will never do that. They'll never whack them in season. Never.
That school will never do that mid-season.
You say that school, you're wearing their jersey.
Yeah, no, I refuse to talk about their football program.
We support Michigan hockey, and at least I support Michigan basketball, but.
I do too. I refuse to talk about Michigan football. I refuse to even spend time talking about them. And like we said, until Jim Harbaugh's gone, that program doesn't have a football team to me.
Kind of how I'm feeling about the Lions now. Just to tie that back to where we were with what I was saying about the Lions, like it's time to just in this entire state right now when it comes to football, just fold it and move on to next year.
Give this entire state a football enema.
This entire state needs a sports enema. It's so bad. But I listened to the head coach of the Michigan football team today on.
Say his name.
I refuse. I will say that my aunt and uncle in Georgia now call him Hairball.
Huh. I think it's solid.
Yeah, because
the equivalent
I think it's because he constantly chokes during big games.
Oh, nice. Jim Fraudbaugh?
Well, yeah.
I mean, he also chokes during pointless games.
That's true. And during rivalry games.
Yep.
Yes.
But the entire time I heard the interview this morning,
he pretty much chokes anytime the ball gets snapped.
Yeah. Well, he's choked for the last few years. And again, I refuse to say his name. But when he was being interviewed on a local radio station this morning, the only thing I could think that I really had that came to mind was this.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Like, that was really all that I thought. In my head,
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
just kept playing over and over in my head.
I like that. That's solid.
It was just literally shut the fuck up. You're just, it's excuse after excuse after excuse. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, there's a Larry David one that's fucking brilliant. That's all he says. He's like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. It's great.
It was the only thing that popped in my head the entire time. Every question they asked him, every answer he gave, it was just,
shut the fuck up, you cunt!
I mean, at this point, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like, you just for the sake of for the sake of your dignity, for the sake of your alma mater, just leave, man. Leave.
I have a feeling that's going to happen at the end of the season. They're going to part ways. It's going to be a mutual parting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no way he gets fired.
No. It'll be a mutual parting.
He will get fired, but it will be announced as a mutual parting.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It's like, dude, this.
Yeah.
Because now I think the boosters are now starting to getting sick of getting embarrassed every week.
For some reason, they respect him too much. He's done nothing to earn the respect.
No, he hasn't.
But zero.
It's just his name. That's
He's done
it.
zero. Yeah.
He's a Michigan guy.
He's that fucking term.
I hate that phrase.
I fucking despise that term.
God.
That's what you get every year.
I hate it.
Every year you get a coach behind that bench.
Ridiculous.
Michigan man.
Dumb.
Except Rich Rod.
That's another story for another day. We'll get into that at some point. But it's to the point now. It's so embarrassing. Like I said, I think the boosters are finally tired of it, and it's like, all right.
See, and I doubt that too. That's what sucks.
Really?
Is I doubt they even have the balls to make that decision.
Yeah, no, they have the balls to do it.
I
They put so much money into that program, into that school. They're the ones calling the shots. It's not Ward Manuel. It's not Mark Schlissel.
Yeah.
It's the boosters, especially when it comes to the football team.
Yeah, you're
Especially
right.
with programs like that.
Yeah, it's
Like, and I don't say like that for any specific. Like, this is a program where, as much as I like to dog on it, it has the utmost respect of the entire college football.
Oh yeah,
universe.
absolutely.
So programs like that,
Right.
yeah, the boosters.
They
have to.
like the AD. That's title only when it comes to
Yeah.
the football team at schools like that or Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, whatever. So their money. That's what's going to make this decision.
Yeah.
And their money is being wasted.
Right now,
And
absolutely.
at some point, they finally, all right, enough. Like, it's time to go in a different direction. And
That's what she said.
Wow, you couldn't wait to play that. You really blew your load on that one.
Yeah,
You
he's
blew
been
your load-
waiting for it.
You blew your load on that?
Time to move in a different direction.
See, now that you could have played it.
That's what I did. I played it right after you said it's time to move in a different
No,
direction.
when I said you blew your load on that,
Oh.
you could have played it right there.
I was too busy laughing at it. I was too busy laughing.
But it's time and whatever. I'm done talking about Michigan football. I don't want to do
What?
that anymore. Who?
What?
What?
Where?
Just in case anybody out there cares, too. State played. They lost.
Who?
Who?
Exactly. That's
What?
why I mean, like, this entire state right now, when it comes to football, is just absolute ass.
And I know we have people that listen to us from other states. So being that we're in Michigan, I will say that we do a lot of our stuff based around our Michigan teams and Detroit teams and things like that. And I'm just gonna say, if you're living anywhere else right now and you listen to us, you have it so much better than we do. It sucks.
When it comes to sports, period, you do.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
pretty much every team in this state is terrible.
It's awful sports wise right now. And before the show, we were talking about a possible. It's not even a done deal. A possible trade.
Just to talk basketball.
Right. That the Pistons might be making tomorrow night on draft night. And it's just a possible trade. And we're like, well, I hope that happens because at least it'll bring something exciting to Detroit. I mean, it's ridiculous right now. Our sports world around here sucks.
Things
And
are
then now,
so bad.
and now we're getting locked down again. So there goes that again.
Great.
Like, we're literally at the point we're hoping for LeVar Ball.
Listen, I'll take it at this point. It's something. It'll be something to talk about. It's something exciting. I'll take it.
Like I know you guys were talking about the trade earlier before the show,
Yeah.
and I think we're all in agreement.
LaMelo is the best option.
This trade should absolutely be made if that's the actual deal. Mm-hmm. Now, if you guys want to inform people of said trade,
Yes. So yeah, I was going to.
Thank you.
Once we got into that.
hey, get to that. Yes.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and do that now.
So
It's basketball. They might not have been paying attention.
well, I mean, you could do it too.
I don't remember what the trade
okay.
was, but I believe it was. Yes, it actually made
so
sense.
It does make sense. So it's a trade that's possibly going to happen, and it's Detroit making a trade with the Warriors, sending Blake Griffin and their number 7 pick in exchange for the number 2 overall pick, Wiggins, and another player, and I forgot who that was, honestly.
I do not know who the other player was.
But to me, it's a deal that if Detroit, if it's there for Detroit to make, they have to make it.
I would think so.
And they're gonna take LaMelo at number 2. In my opinion, that's who they should take.
I will say I just read or I was looking at, I didn't necessarily read it, but I was looking at a mock draft that the Free Press had posted, and they actually had Ball going at 1 now.
Wow.
So, yeah, they had Minnesota taking him at 1. So I'm sure that's going to be the deciding factor on whether the Pistons are going to make that move or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that does make sense. I mean,
But I personally think that you have to do that. You haven't had a top 3 pick
since Darko,
and you screwed that one up.
Oh, royally screwed that up.
If you can
You
make
literally
this
could have
trade,
drafted anyone else in that draft.
yeah. Well, if you can make that trade, you make it, because Blake Griffin is going to have to be on a count at this point. You're gonna have to limit his minutes at this point in his career.
You can't build around him.
No.
You just can't.
So
I know the whole point of bringing him here was to try to build around him. You can't.
You can't.
You missed the window on top of it.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't. So you get Wiggins. Wiggins fills out a roster spot. He's a good enough player. He's not great. He's good at best, but at least he's a guy that's going to get you 20 points a game. Mm-hmm. He's a liability defensively, but it is what it is. Nobody really plays defense anymore anyway.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, it's a good trade for you because you just get rid of Blake Griffin, who you have to limit his minutes, and then you get the 2nd overall pick, which is something you can't turn down most times. Like that's like we were talking about the Lions having a top 3 pick, and they just pissed it away on a cornerback. Like you don't get
that was a good pick.
Yeah,
that was a good pick.
That was a solid pick because he's one of the best corners to ever come out of. Okay, how's that looking now, there, fella? So when it comes down to it, you have to take those opportunities when you get them.
Yeah,
and that's a big opportunity to get the number 2 overall pick, to get a guy possibly like LaMelo. And it's going to bring a circus to town with his dad. But,
oh God, yeah.
It
Which
is
honestly, at this point,
I'll take it.
Why not?
Right. That's why I was that's why I was telling you guys before the show. Like, I'll take it, man. Let's just get something to talk about. I want something
now.
worthwhile.
And once LeBron retires,
right,
then we got trade bait for the Lakers.
Now I'm glad you brought up the word circus, because the other trade rumors that is going around is James Harden going to the Brooklyn Nets to team up with KD and Kyrie Irving. Now that'll be a fucking circus. Oh
yeah,
that'll be an absolute disaster.
You know what? I honestly like the way the three of them would fit together.
How?
Like it's just a situation of which their play styles. It's the problem they're going to have is the fact that there's not enough ball to go around.
That's
but
kind of
outside
the
of
point. Solid.
And I should have said balls just to give you that one.
I know.
And I intentionally didn't for that reason.
That's what she said.
But outside of that, like, okay, you've got New York, you've got the big market, you've got everything, everybody always wants in New York.
Yeah.
Now you have the product.
But the problem is you're still playing with Kyrie Irving, and that dude will destroy that team. Those three?
I don't know enough about Kyrie outside of the fact I know he's a good player. So I can't really say either way.
He's
I don't
a
know
good
if
player,
he is a
but
cancer in the locker room.
He's a good player, but he's incredibly selfish. And
Yeah.
then not only so now he's going to have to share the ball with KD,
Yeah.
who in and of himself is arguably the second best basketball player in basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're going to add James Harden to that mix, who never passes.
Ever.
Okay.
Like,
that's
ever.
That's going to work great.
Part of me hopes though that and again
I want to see it.
Not to
I
go.
absolutely want to see it.
It'll be something worthwhile to watch.
Not to go into politics on it. I also kind of hope that Houston tells him to fuck off and keeps him there
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, he's turning down $50 million a year
because of politics.
Yeah, I heard the main reason why.
Like, dude, seriously?
Yeah. But that dude, you're gone. And not to mention, you're turning down $50 million a year with no state income tax.
Bruh.
I mean, that's just like
exactly.
All right,
you stupid.
Stupid.
We could just keep these going all day. We could fill out the rest of the show with those,
But
and I'd just sit here nodding and agreeing.
I also can kind of see his point. If you're not happy there, and for whatever reason it is, whether it be political or whatever, and so you go to Brooklyn and you take what, $20 million less. Fucking cares? You take 20. What's the difference? 80 million or 100 million
with New York state taxes?
You're still right. So you're making 50.
I was going to say,
okay.
Obviously, the money doesn't matter to him,
and I'm sure he's got more than enough. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, all the money he blows in strip clubs and shit like that probably took a big chunk of it. But I mean, it's the money he's already made up at this point in his career, especially with endorsements and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you leave some money on the table to be happy. Cool, man. You do you. Do what you want. Like that. Obviously, money's not everything. If you're not happy in a certain situation, leave. Now, there is an issue, especially especially within the NBA, how these players have so much fucking power. Good Lord. It's just like
it's like the exact opposite of the NFL.
Oh yeah, it is. But that goes into the
collective bargaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it goes to their players association.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done a good job, and you know, if they have the power, they have the power. It's what happens. But yeah, it's like I said, it's like the exact opposite of the NFL. I mean, the NFL is so different.
It's easier in the NBA, obviously, because the rosters aren't as big. So it's easier to stand up against the owners and strike it or lock out whatever. If you want to do that, it's obviously significantly harder in the NFL to do it because like the 53rd man on a roster is making chump change comparative to the last man.
$500,000.
Right, comparative to the last man on an NBA roster who's making like $10 million a year.
Right.
So obviously it's apples and oranges comparative to that. But credit to the NBA Players Association, they've got pretty much everything they wanted, and credit to them. And these owners, especially this last CBA that just came up, they wanted more like cost certainty. Are you fucking kidding me? Cost certainty, huh? Yeah, how's that working out for you? I mean, I get it with the TV money and all that shit. You're making a ton of money through the TV contracts. That's generally what pays these salaries anyways. But if you're talking cost certainty and trying to get the league back to, let's say, more of a even keel, competitive nature-wise, you've done a terrible job at that.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible job at that.
But that's something you gotta look at the commissioner and everything and realize that I'm not going to say he's a players commissioner.
He's absolutely a players
But
commissioner.
that's literally what the problem is.
Yeah, he's absolutely a players commissioner.
Well, the next one that comes in,
the
NBA is going to be a shit show for a while, just because you're going to get the owners who are going to try to get a businessman in there. And you're going to try to do, like you were saying, try to make this a little bit more even keel all through. And
I hear there's a dude that's going to be out of a job soon. He might be able to run the NBA.
Which one?
He's got an orange face. I don't know. maybe he can do it.
Staying out of politics. Come on, Chris.
I figured it was there. I had to take it. It was there.
You stupid.
Sometimes. You know who's not stupid? My guy Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank. Right now it's a great time to purchase a home or even refinance your existing home. So give my guy Jason Stiltner a call at Flagstar Bank. He'll give you the top-notch service that you're looking for. Flagstar, they're currently offering a 0% down home purchase program. However, the program won't last long, and rates are incredibly low. So give my guy Jason Stiltner a call today at 248-675-0675. Trust me, you don't want to miss this opportunity.
That's what she said.
That number again is 248-675-0675. Flagstar Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546. Yes, that was solid. Well, that was a great time. Well played.
He kept looking over at me, and I was trying to figure out a way to tell him to do it.
I totally missed the point in time where I should have done it, though, and that's what bothered me is I didn't have the screen pulled up. And there was a point in time in there where I missed it, and I was like, "Damn! Well, I'm gonna fit it in anyway."
Oh, you'll get it down. You'll get it down. Because I know you're gonna. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He's making up for last week.
I think so. Oh, geez.
Drop Central.
That's right. Yeah, got an old bit siren in there. We need that.
We need the bell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if we can order one.
Yeah, I like it. Jeez. Yeah. I don't even know where to go. Honestly, I don't even know where to go from there.
I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at your jersey, and all I want to talk about is these retro jerseys.
Oh, you want to do that? Yeah.
You want to get into it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's get into it. As some of you know, and others, most of you probably don't know because
it's hockey.
Because it's hockey, but people that do follow the NHL, Adidas and the NHL have basically made another cash grab and came out with these so-called.
Well, that's like I was saying about the Vancouver one.
Right.
I wish they would have done
the Sprite can.
I wish they would have done the V.
That would look sweet.
Inversed.
Yeah.
Like they have it coming to a peak,
right.
But flip it where the old, black jerseys that had the stripes and everything to make the V. And then go ahead and if you want to throw the whale on there, throw the whale on there.
Well, I actually like the Canadians one as well. The Canadians one with the
blue. I think it looks great.
Seeing them in blue is going to be weird, though.
I still love that jersey, though. It's
a classic jersey.
Well, and it looks good. It doesn't look like some of the knockoff Pee Wee jerseys that some of these other ones look like to me. And that one looks good. I mean, the Predators one is just a reverse in the colors. I mean, that's just
it's one of their old jerseys, essentially.
It's okay, a big deal.
But this is the problem since once Reebok took over the jerseys from CCM and Coho and whatnot, it's money, and then once Adidas took over from Reebok,
go back down to that one.
These jerseys have just gotten considerably worse every year, and it's.
I still can't get over the Islanders one.
They did
nothing.
They did nothing. There was nothing done to that jersey.
I still like it. I like it more than I like most of the other ones.
Like you just roll out and they're like, I don't feel like making a new jersey. I'll just here's the same thing. Go ahead.
Like I dig the Sharks jersey. I dig the Sharks one.
The Sharks always have solid jerseys.
So I'm trying to see the Sharks one. What I like the Devils one.
Yeah, the green
Christmas jersey.
Green, yeah, looks good. I like that.
Yeah,
the old Brendan Shanahan green.
Yeah,
I dig those ones.
Rangers is kind of It's just kind of plain to me.
They already had that jersey. That was an alternate jersey.
I know. I just don't. I don't care for that
color.
one. The Ottawa jersey I like.
I like what Minnesota
did.
The
all red.
Honoring the North Stars.
Yeah, I like what Minnesota did.
I don't like that gray.
I hate that logo, though. I hate Minnesota's logo.
Why
I've always
are so many
it.
teams using that gray?
I don't know. I just don't like. I just didn't like. I would have liked that one a lot better if it wasn't like that all gray or whatever it looks like.
Even when Oakland wore the silver jerseys, I was never a fan of a silver or a gray jersey. It just doesn't look
No,
Yeah.
aesthetically on TV, it does not look good.
Well,
Right.
and not to mention, it reminds me of practice jerseys.
Yeah.
Because, you throw on the gray practice jersey. The Pittsburgh one I don't like either.
No, the Pittsburgh one looks like shit. The Maple Leafs
Oh,
one
here's
looks like shit.
Here, I'm trying to come down to the Sharks one here and see.
I dig the Sharks one.
See, again, it's
gray.
gray.
That's what I don't like about it.
But
is
it
the
at
gray.
least looks cool with those
Yeah.
colors.
But at least that's in their color scheme.
Yeah.
It is. I just don't dig. I guess I just don't dig any jersey that has that much gray in it.
I like what Tampa did too. I think Tampa did really well.
I was really hoping they were going to bring back the Storm.
The St. Louis one is
Those
just
are brutal.
The St. Louis one is reminiscent of my favorite jersey of all time in the
One
NHL.
of the ugliest jerseys ever made.
With just that little tiny red stripe.
God, this thing's terrible.
We were talking
Here,
about
let's
Grails
put our
earlier.
numbers on a slant.
And I know it's out there.
That's what they look
If I could get a Gretzky one of that Blues jersey,
You can.
I know you can, but I just have to find my size in it, which isn't the easiest thing in the world.
I can help you out with that, buddy.
I know you can. Then why do you think I'm telling you?
I got you covered.
And the Leafs one.
I hate it.
Again, they used a gray. What is with all these
I hate
teams
it.
trying to use the gray
How
colors?
do you not
Like,
go
don't
with
get
the
me
St.
wrong.
Pat's on that jersey?
Like that style of jersey, which I have a Gilmore one like that.
Yeah.
I love that style, but then they went with that massive, huge
The
maple
hu-
leaf.
yeah, the
on
huge
it.
maple
Like,
leaf, yeah.
The leaf is way too big. And then there's
Stadium Series style.
I think the N in Toronto is lowercase and the rest of it's capitalized. And the M
Yeah.
in Maple is lowercase and the rest of it's capitalized.
That's kind of what it looks like, actually.
Yeah. It's like, all right, whose idea was that?
Yeah,
just
you're right. That
doesn't-
doesn't look right. Looking at Toronto now, the Maple Leafs you can't really tell, but on the Toronto
Yeah.
part, everything else is a capital letter except for the N
Yeah.
is a lowercase n.
Right.
Who does that?
Whoever did that should be fired
I
immediately.
don't even care who does it. Why do you do it?
Exactly. Why?
That doesn't even look right.
No, I was hoping they were
And-
going to
and
go
sadly, I
somewhere.
didn't
at
notice
the-
that.
with the St. Pat's jersey.
I'd have been cool with that. If they had done St. Pat's, I'd have been cool with that.
Just go with the green,
Yeah.
obnoxious color. Like, if you're going to do it bad, just do it all the way
I
bad.
would have been cool with that. That would have worked.
That's the worst fucking jersey, hands down.
Which one? The Buffalo?
No, Vegas.
No,
Oh, Vegas is hideous.
And they went for the inspiration was
That looks
the
like
Vegas Thunder.
the Las Vegas Thunder.
It looks like a red butt, like a butthole. Like honestly, that's what it
looks like a red butthole.
It does.
Actually, kind of know what the yeah.
Now that you say that, I can't unsee.
Now that you say that, I can't unsee the red butthole.
Like I didn't see it until you said it, and now I can't unsee it.
Yeah,
it's no good, man.
It's not. It's
no
not
good.
a good. Well, especially now that you pointed out,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's-
going to be able to
it's
see
no
anything
good.
different.
But why would you go and I mean, I have no problem with it if you're just going to do it across the board. But why would you honor an IHL jersey?
Because that was their
Because-
only like professional team for the longest
Right,
time.
but if that's the case, why didn't the fucking Wings do Vipers jerseys or some shit?
They did it. They
That'd
did
be cool.
They did it to.
It would have been.
Yeah, those jerseys were sweet.
They did it because of who played on that team. You can see her right there. Oh, what's her name? The goalie.
But unreal.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
that was why they did it. They did it to.
All right. They're still ugly ass jerseys.
Yeah,
They
they're
are.
terrible jerseys.
They are.
Washington's I'm not a huge fan of, but they're not terrible.
The eagle, I've always hated that logo, especially when they had the color scheme that went with that logo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
the brown.
The brown, like the gold and the black
Yeah.
and like sky blue or whatever color it was. Holy shit!
The
those look
Winnipeg
terrible.
went with a gray again. What is with these
I actually
teams
don't
going
mind
with gray?
Winnipeg's.
I don't like that at
I don't
all.
The
mind
thing
it.
I don't like is honestly, when you sent it to me, I thought it was a black and white picture. And then I noticed the blue and I went, oh, that's just the jersey.
I said Buffalo's is hideous.
Dude,
They could have done so much better with that.
home run on your hands.
You did. If they gone the go ahead logo with those colors would have been sweet.
If they would have put the goat head, I firmly believe if you put the goat head on those colors,
It would look great.
that's your jersey going forward, probably.
No, you got to leave. The logo they have now is classy. I love it.
It is, but you can go forward with the goat head.
If they did it like an alternate, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's hands down
Your
my
brother-
favorite jersey, though.
Frank, your brother said, I think the Islanders forgot to send Adidas a jersey.
I think they did. I absolutely think they
That's
did.
literally what happened.
Or somebody might have had the day off when they were designing that and been like, "Nah, we're good. That's cool."
They're just like, hey, that looks good. Send that.
Yeah, that's done.
They assigned the one guy who never turned in his homework on time.
Right, exactly.
And he just forgot about sending the jersey in, and Adidas was like, well, we're just going to go with your normal jersey.
Sounds good. All right, that works. Like they could have done the fisherman jersey, like something with those colors, and
The
it would
fish
look
sticks jersey.
It would look awesome. But no, it's
Those
like
jerseys were so bad.
No, you know what?
The Gordon guy.
Yeah, the Gordon's Fisherman. That would have looked great. But like, no, I think we're good with just this. We're just gonna keep it the same, but change like what did you say? A stripe? They changed?
No, they didn't even change it. They just inversed it.
Or inverse. It's like okay then.
They just flipped it.
And like the Rangers,
It was on top. Now it's on the bottom.
The Rangers went with what like jersey they had like
yeah.
Solid. That was really loud in my ear.
That was supposed to be a ding.
Yeah.
But that was not a ding. It was just a loud squeal.
No, like I was saying, the only one that I was really like, damn it, I was really hoping for that was the Tampa one. I liked those Storm jerseys back in the day.
Oh, the raindrops, like
Yep.
when Dino was wearing that
Yep.
one? Yeah.
It just,
I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just...
if you're going to go bad, might as well just do it the full way.
I said, to me, it's just another cash grab. People are going to buy them because they're like, oh, it's something new. But honestly, the majority of these jerseys look like shit.
I'm going to want to punch the first Red Wing fan who wears one.
Most of them look bad.
Yeah.
They really do. The majority of them are not good.
And it's not just like the designs of the jersey, just the jersey itself. Like Adidas jerseys, to me, they just look like cheap.
They do.
They look like cheap practice jerseys. They look like shit.
And I'm, from playing growing up and everything, I would hate to wear those fucking tight jerseys. Those things are just not comfortable.
No, they're not comfortable. They're lightweight. I get that.
Yeah.
And they're thin. I understand that. But honestly, they look flimsy and they look like knockoffs. Honestly,
Like back in the day when the Wings would play the Avs,
Yeah.
you would have to factor in the fact that Patrick Waugh's sleeve hung an extra 2 feet down.
yeah, absolutely. You
Like
would.
you don't get things like that
No,
anymore.
you don't.
Guys used to be able to find little ways to work
Yeah.
around the rules.
Tug on a jersey a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. But
But
people are gonna buy them and they're like, oh, look at my new jersey. I'm like, all right, great, cool. You just wasted $150. The jersey looks like shit.
as long as it's
looks
got
like
Wild
shit.
Wing on the front, I don't care.
Right, fair enough. Anyways,
I just don't know who I'd get on the back of it.
I'm actually glad we got into that because I know we talked about it a little bit before the show. And I said, for those of you people who actually give a shit about hockey, maybe weigh in on our Facebook page or our Twitter page, and just kind of, I want to hear your thoughts on it. But I'm just glad.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of glad we got into that a little bit.
Yeah,
and
and
yes, Joe, if you're still watching, we know you like hockey. You don't have to tell us.
well, yeah, and even if you're not a hockey fan, I'd say check them out and just see some of the jerseys
Yeah.
that we're talking about, so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And give them a look see, and then maybe shoot us a line. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And please defend me. This Wild Wing jersey is not that bad, even though literally
incredibly bad.
every person who I've talked to about the jersey, that's the number one
It is
jersey they bitch about.
So bad.
It's hideous.
I don't know. I got poor taste, I guess.
That's what she said.
No, because if she said it, she'd probably the poor taste.
Hey, Frank, did you want to talk about any of the 60-year-old shows you want to watch this week?
Yeah, right.
I mean, if we're talking about old people, I saw something about Dolly Parton being in Playboy.
Oh.
I'd still check. I'd still check that
75
out.
years old.
I would check that out.
I mean, the chest's probably only about 20 years old.
Yeah, I'd check that out.
I would not.
I mean, from the waist down, I don't think I'd want to see that, but
No, I would not.
No.
I would not be checking that out.
No, certainly not. But
No.
But as far as old people stuff, that's all I got for you. Still working on NCIS. Haven't jumped into the office.
when are you gonna get into your Jag reruns?
I've never watched Jag.
That's next on his list.
Actually, now that you say it, we'll see if iTunes has it.
My mom really liked Jag. She was a real big fan of that.
There you go.
She's also a really big fan of Blue Bloods, like I suggested last week.
Good.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's solid.
That's a bummer. Jag is not on iTunes.
No,
Man.
that's a shame.
It's kind of a bummer.
That's a shame.
I may have given that a shot. Guys like making fun of my old people TV shows.
You know what? You should give a shot. That read.
Were you trying to get me to just stop right in the middle of you guys again and just go right into it?
I can't do your segues for you, man.
You just tried.
you did pretty good, actually. you know what you should give a try? That read. That paper sitting in front of you.
Hey, fucking read it.
I'm now Bronco. Are you tired of going from dealership to dealership looking for an automobile or a boat? Then get in touch with Land & Sea Motorsports. They specialize in finding you the car, truck, or boat that you're in the market for. At Land & Sea Motorsports, tell them the type of vehicle and the features you want that will fit your budget. They also offer shrink wrapping, winterization for all boats and jet skis. If your boat or vehicle need any repairs or cleaning, they offer full detail division as well. So give them a call at 586. I was thinking in my head about something to say. This is the phone number. We need to make sure this is clear.
Gotta get this one right.
586-484-9798. Or visit their website at landandseamotorsports.com. Can't make me laugh before. Last week I was at least able to prepare myself to keep a straight face the whole time.
That was awesome.
We got to pay the bill somehow, guys.
Holy shit, that was great. I think there's no better way to go into the picks than that.
Oh man.
Jesus.
If you've had plumbing problems, you're definitely not alone. The next time you have an issue, there's only one place to call. Go to Pro Plumbing. They're a local family-owned company with 15 years of experience. Based in Centerline, they serve the Metro Detroit areas, keeping your pipes clean and flowing with fair prices and happy customers. They're open 7 days a week for all your plumbing needs. The knowledgeable and experienced staff will keep you informed of their progress every step of the way to make your experience as smooth as possible. Call Go To Pro Plumbing today at 586-250-2881. That's 586-250-2881. Go To Pro Plumbing. When your pipes won't flow, call the pro.
That's what she said.
It's time!
Oh, that was a great like little 5-minute stretch there, I think. All right, it's time for the NFL picks. Last week, Joe and myself, we did not exactly have the greatest of weeks as we went 2-5 each because we literally picked every game the exact same, which we didn't realize till after the show that we did that. And Frank, you
picked one different.
Yeah, you went 4-3, so not exactly the greatest weeks for a week for either like any of us, but hopefully we strive for greatness here on this show. So we're gonna.
This has also been a funny year, though.
It has been.
You don't necessarily have your best teams being your best teams.
Like we've talked
they
about
flip-flop,
it. It's a Jekyll and Hyde season. It really is.
It's a weird season, and I will say, me personally, I'm 95-51 on the year, which is just pretty good.
That's not bad.
It's not necessarily up there with some of the big boys in the picks, but it's right there close to them. So I'm happy with my overall.
Better than me, you at least remember to do them.
I'm happy with my overall selections over the year, but the last couple weeks have been rough to try and pick these games.
It's difficult to pick. It's getting harder and harder every week
for sure.
How did you not?
Because I wasn't prepared for that.
Man.
That's what she said.
There you go. It's a little late. It's a little late for that, but
damn. Yeah. So we're gonna start off the Thursday night game, Arizona and Seattle. Frank,
Seattle.
You're gonna try to go with no analyzing the games at all.
I think honestly that's the best way to fucking do it.
Yes.
It's kind of like picking the bracket, like the NCAA bracket.
And I lied. I'm really going with Arizona. I don't know why I said Seattle.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I already wrote it down, you dick.
I know.
He already wrote it down. He can't change it.
In my head, I'm sitting here going, I'm going to go with Arizona on that game. And I just said Seattle for some reason.
I'm also going to go with Arizona. Just how Kyler Murray's playing, I think he's on the ascent right now. He's definitely got a swagger, and he's just got that confidence right now.
It's literally two teams doing this.
Yeah, like he's where Russell Wilson was in the first third of the season.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
As much as I'm a Kyler Murray guy, and as much as I love that team right now, and I love the way they're playing, and Kyler Murray is just ascending to another level right now. He keeps maturing more and more every week. That being said, Seattle is playing at home, and I don't think Arizona is that much better of a team than Seattle right now. And I'm going to go with Seattle at home to bounce back after 3 out of 4 bad outings recently. So I'm going to go with Russell Wilson to bounce back, not necessarily Seattle. And they might be getting Chris Carson back, which will be a big help too.
Yes, that would be a tremendous help for them. Moving on to Tennessee, Baltimore. Oh my God! Just watching this game, or watching these past few games, like Tennessee had a stinker this past week. Baltimore, I know it was shitty weather, but like we talked about before the show, it's just like you have a good running game. Like, why don't you use it? I don't understand like why this team does not use the running game.
Yeah, I don't either. They had 28 rush attempts compared to, I think, 34 pass attempts in that game.
I don't get it.
And in New England, they won the game because they had 39 rush attempts compared to 18 pass attempts. And one of those pass attempts of the 18 was by their wide receiver, Jacoby Myers, who threw a touchdown pass. So it was night and day, and it doesn't seem like Baltimore was doing what they should do to win a game. They're a running team. I don't know why they got away from it.
That being said, I do think they go back to their more of a run heavy game. I don't think they're going to go strictly to the run, but I think they're going to do it, try to chew up clock. So Derrick Henry is not on the field, and I think they're going to be successful with that. Give me Baltimore.
I think they need to bounce back. Last week was just, I don't know. I was listening to you guys, or wasn't listening, but I was reading you guys texting back and forth about it, and I just couldn't understand what you guys were saying because I didn't understand the logic behind it. Like, this team is well aware of the fact that Lamar can't throw the ball. Like, this isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
We know he did what he did last year, but we knew he couldn't throw the ball regardless.
Yep.
So I want to take the Titans on this, but at the same time, I think it's a bounce-back game. So, give me the Ravens.
Well, and I'm going to take a bounce-back game, but I'm not going to take the Ravens to bounce back. I'm going to take Tennessee. I think they're going to have a bounce-back game. I don't think Baltimore is playing very well right now. I don't think they know what their character is right now for some reason.
It's weird out of a Baltimore team. Usually they know exactly what type of team.
Yeah, and it just seems like they've just lost their identity. And unless they miraculously get it back this week, I think Tennessee goes in there and actually wins this game.
All right. Moving on, Green Bay, Indianapolis.
Rodgers.
Okay.
For no other reason than Aaron Rodgers.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna pick the Colts in this one. I don't like how Green Bay's looked these past few weeks. I just don't. And I honestly like the way Indy's played. And the game's in Indianapolis again, obviously with no crowd. There will be some fans at their stadium because Indiana is allowing fans apparently.
Okay.
As seen it in South Bend a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Are they still allowing fans at this point, though?
What I hear, yes.
Or have the Irish ruined that for everybody?
I got a feeling about the Colts. I'll probably be wrong because I can't pick these for shit. So I'm going to go with the Colts.
Well, and I do.
What does the professional say?
I do want to. The professional. I do want to say that. I like the fact that you surprised me with these games this week. Is other than the late games, which we always pick, and the Lions game, you've thrown out a couple that I didn't even have any idea we were picking. So I kind of like that. I'm having to pick off the fly here, so it's kind of fun. Frank, did you make this pick yet?
I did. Yes, I picked Rodgers.
He picked Rodgers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with Rodgers as well. Indianapolis's defense is one of the best in the league, but I just think Green Bay will bring more than what they can handle. You've got Aaron Jones, you've got Williams coming out of the backfield, you've got Devontae Adams playing out of his mind right now. Aaron Rodgers is just otherworldly as well. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I think Green Bay takes this game.
Fair enough. Let's go to the Monday nighter. Rams, Bucks.
Oh, that's a really tough one to pick.
The way that Rams defense looked last week, I really would have a hard time picking against them. And I'm not saying that wasn't a one-off because I haven't watched the Rams, period, this year.
Okay.
But the way they played this past week, And I don't know what it is with Tampa. And it's not a Brady problem. It's not a Bruce Arians problem. It's not. It's just it doesn't seem like everything is the way they're trying to make it come off. It seems like something there is just being forced, and I don't know if it's chemistry or what. But the way that St. Louis, I wanted to call them, but the Rams, LA Rams, the way that defense held up last week, they're going to give Brady fits if they play that way again.
Rams.
Go with the Rams.
I'm also going to go with the Rams. I think Aaron Donald's going to make it his mission to kill Tom Brady this week.
That's possible.
Not to mention all the stuff going on with Antonio Brown this week, the distraction with that. Like, you idiots, how did you not know? How did you idiots not know about this?
They did.
They did know.
Yeah, they knew.
Did. And they signed him
and they
anyway.
still signed him.
They did. They knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much for again. It's all hearsay. Whatever. Nothing's been like proven or anything like that.
It's all hearsay because he broke the fucking camera.
Right. So, but wasn't Bruce Arians the first one to say if he did something like that or something like that came to light, which he knew about?
Yep.
He would go bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's still employed right now.
He's still employed right now. There.
Well, he said if anything comes to light, like after that we don't know about. Well, he didn't preface the fact that something happened and he knew about it.
Right.
So,
but give me the Rams.
See, I'm going to go opposite you boys on this one again. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one. The Rams' defense is as good as advertised. Their offense is very
it's hit or miss.
Their offense is very bipolar,
Yep.
which I think is the theme of this season for a lot of teams.
It really is.
And Tampa Bay's defense is bipolar.
But I think Tampa Bay is the poster child for
absolutely, absolutely. Which is why I think this is going to be an up week for them. I think they're going to be coming out of this week with a little bit of that attitude problem of we look bad.
Yeah.
And Antonio Brown, they knew about the issue, and then people are going to be expecting them to have problems because of all the media coverage of it, or with all the circus about it. They're going to come out with an attitude. I think they're going to end up winning this game in Tampa.
Okay, let's go to the Sunday nighter, Frankie. This one's all you, buddy. Chefs and Raiders.
The Chefs.
Knowing what happened the last time, I really feel like Andy Reid is going to come out with just an absolutely different game plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be anything the same, and I don't know that Gruden knows what to expect. That alone, I'm going to go with the Chefs.
I'm also going to go with the Chefs. I heard something last night during the Monday Nighter. After the game, the Raiders kind of did something you're not supposed to do. They were kind of rubbing it in their faces that they did that. And I don't think Andy Reid's going to take too kindly to that.
Yeah.
He even said as much.
Ooh.
Well, and they were talking shit with Denver too, because they allowed like 1 yard the entire second half or some shit.
So honestly,
they're riding way too high right now.
Give me the Chefs and give me the Chefs big.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
That's my pick isn't going to change. It's going to be the Chiefs. As much as I like the Raiders and as much as I like what they're doing, they have a good young team. Gruden has drafted really well. I do think they've gotten a little full of themselves.
Yep.
And I thought that before I just heard what I heard. So I think the Chiefs come into this game, and I think the Chiefs make a statement because people are questioning them.
Yep.
And the Raiders beat them, and they're going to come into this game and say, stop fucking questioning us.
We are the champs, guys.
Yeah. We're the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
That's who we are until proven otherwise.
Give us a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask one thing? It's more of a hypothetical.
No.
Huh?
Absolutely
No,
not.
fuck it. I'll shut up.
No, go ahead. What do you got?
No.
What happens if the Raiders do win that game? And it's like a win-win, not like a close win.
I think we have to reevaluate the entire fucking season. Like, honestly, seriously.
Well, no, I think at that point I'd have to take the Raiders a lot more seriously, and I think everybody would. But when it comes down to it, I already take them seriously. I like that team.
I know you do.
And going into the season, I like that team. I liked them last year.
I like the Raiders.
I think they have a lot of very good
They're
young
a quarterback
talent.
away from being a
That's
really good
That's
team,
the one
in my
thing that
opinion.
keeps me away from loving the Raiders is their quarterback situation.
Yep.
Yeah, and even he's played better this year.
He
so
has.
I bet again he's been bipolar, which is a lot of the NFL season this year. It's a lot of teams. But no, I love what the Raiders have going on. I love what Gruden's doing, but I don't put them on the same level as the Chiefs. Even Baltimore, with the fact that they haven't played up to par lately. I don't put them on the level of them and Pittsburgh and teams like that yet. If they win this game and they beat the Chefs for the second time in the year, yeah, I might have to bump them up a little bit. I think we all might.
Yeah, I would absolutely 100% agree with that. Okay. Now, to the biggest game of the weekend, as per usual, it is your Detroit Lions, Frank, versus the Carolina Panthers.
I was going to say, don't even tell me who they play. I take the other team.
All right.
Wow.
We were discussing it earlier on the show. I've not seen a quarterback look like he's given up that badly. Like, he literally looked like he just watched his dog get run over by a car. That's how sad he looked.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick a quarterback with that type of mindset to win anything ever, regardless of who the team is. And the fact that it's this organization that's just, I said it to you this past weekend, it's the most inept organization I've ever seen in sports.
I mean, it's hard to argue at that point. It really is. I'm sure some honk will argue that point with you.
Oh, they will.
But
you can't.
No, they'll find a way. They'll absolutely
go back and watch last week. Watch yourself blow a 21-point lead to a one-legged quarterback.
They'll argue it. They will. They absolutely will. But I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I don't think McCaffrey's playing. I think he's out with a shoulder injury.
He's probably gonna miss this next game. Yeah. But Mike Davis, other than this last game, Mike Davis has filled in very well for him in his absence.
I mean,
the Lions don't have much of a run defense, so.
I mean, the Panthers rolled into KC and they gave KC all they can. Granted, McCaffrey was playing, but they still gave the Super Bowl champs all they could handle and then some.
But if he was able to get hurt and he was out again this quickly, he could not have even been playing at 75%.
Well, it was a different injury this time, though.
Oh, okay.
It was his ankle from before. Now it's his shoulder.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Mike Davis has filled in very admirably in McCaffrey's absence. I know the phrase is "you are what your record says you are," and I wholeheartedly agree with that. But with that being said, Carolina is a 3-7 team that is better than their record shows.
It's kind of like the Bears. The Bears were a 5-1 team that should have been a 1-5 team.
Right. So I mean,
as that's proven out over the past few weeks.
Carolina's not been playing poorly.
Yeah.
Bridgewater's been playing very well. He's actually more mobile than I thought he would be this year. He's playing well. Mike Davis has filled in admirably. Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore on the outside are playing really well. And that defense is about middle of the road. I'm going to take them at home against a Detroit team that just doesn't seem like they seem like Matt Stafford. They just don't seem like they're into it, man. It's just they get a lead and then it goes away because they seem like they're just not there. They're not all there. And I think a lot of that goes back to, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but it goes back to the fact that the team doesn't like Matt Patricia and they've given up on him and they don't care how bad they make him look. They haven't bought in and they're going to lose this game.
Well, I could keep going on. It's not even worth it.
No, please do.
Like it's just a situation where I look at this and go, you have a young running back. You have DeAndre Swift. You saw what he could do this past weekend. Not that he was fantastic, but he had a decent game.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
AP, I know they love him. I know he's got, the longevity. I know he's got the history behind him. He's going to go down as one of the better running backs to ever play this game. That's great. Let him go. I'm not saying cut the guy. Put him on the bench. If he doesn't want to be a bench guy anymore, that's fine. Release him.
Right.
You have the youth here. This team is not a veteran team. You need to allow this team to lose so they can eventually, hopefully, win.
The fact that Swift was not starting from day one is absurd to me.
It is. The fact you go out and get AP after getting him.
Yeah. I don't understand what the thought process was. And I don't think there was one because Matt Patricia couldn't coach himself out of a fucking paper bag.
Your best player has literally just walked away from the team in Galladay.
Yeah.
Your best running back is your backup running back because your coach refuses to acknowledge that.
Yep.
Like, you've got all these different pieces that are just being completely mismanaged at this point.
Forward down the field.
And T.J. Hawkinson, I don't care what anybody says. That was another horrible pick. The guy is not worth where he was drafted.
You get him in the second or third round, I don't say shit about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't.
Exactly.
Like he's a fine player, but he's not. What was it? 10 overall, 9 overall, or whatever he was.
Bro, it's just
too high. Whatever. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. where in the first round was too high for that guy, man.
Yep,
Like maybe late first round, like Noah Fant. Noah Fant played for the same goddamn college and went later on in the draft, and actually he looks like a better fucking tight end.
Yeah.
Another one I called on draft day. But they drafted.
Sonny.
But that's
Sonny
one of
Weaver Jr.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things that I feel like the Lions never make the right picks ever. It's just insane to me.
They've had 2 right picks. Right.
Calvin and
Barry.
And we'll say Herman Moore too.
I
Well,
throw 3 in there.
I was gonna say there's been other ones. I think
I was
going
to
to
say I will make a case for the Sue pick.
Spielman.
Oh yeah, for
all
sure.
right. So let's say 10. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's.
But in the last 20 years.
But that's not exactly. That's the fucking problem.
And there's the fucking problem.
Yeah, and those are the picks for this week.
I didn't mean to go on a rant after we had talked about the Lions, but
No, that's
sitting here. The longer it's stewed, the more I just
had
to get it off my chest.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. With that being said, that's the end of the show this week. Thanks for joining us here at Sports on Tap Detroit. Please follow us on our Facebook page, on our Instagram, on our Twitter. Go to SOTDET.com. That's SOTDET.com. We have fantasy stats, fantasy insight every week. We have our Stardom Situms every week. Frank puts out a blog here and there.
Every once in a while.
So please go there, check us out. Again, that's SOTDET.com. And again, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. And again, you can find our podcast on any of the podcast platforms. There you go. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. On any of the podcast platforms that carry your favorite podcasts. And please make ours one of them. I'm Joe Waddell on behalf of Chris Scott and Frank Dragata. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
Hey.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.